we're doing my divine mindful reflections, celestial rising, divine noon, and grand night to the beautiful deity watching this video, to the divine reflection, divine messenger. And we are back with another divine mindful message. And you already know we're continuously still pissing people off. And those vibrations will never change, by the way. So why change things that can't change themselves? It's like, don't sit here and try to please the viewpoint of other people that can't stomach what you're communicating in or comprehending yourself to actually think in. When you're not thinking in the same comprehension level of other people who can't comprehend the level that you are comprehending, then you cannot comprehend what beings cannot fathom, and that's basically yourself. On top of that, shout out to DeQuante Tucker. I was thinking, how can I drive and meditate while I'm driving without thinking about driving my mind? Oh, hold on, because y'all need to use correct punctuation. I was thinking, how can I drive and meditate while I'm driving without thinking about driving my, like, what the fuck what are you saying? What are you saying, DeQuante? Without thinking about driving my mind, be somewhere else thinking about other things. Like, okay, while I'm driving without thinking, period. About driving my mind, be somewhere else thinking about other things while I'm aware of driving, but it doesn't feel like I'm driving. Okay, boy, were you panic typing when you were saying this question? What was going through your thoughts, bro? Because this is amazing to, like, this don't make sense to me, but I see what you're saying, but it's just like that thinking about driving my, like, what the hell is that? But it's all good though. No offense to your, no offense to your grammar. But you need to check your school system for that, 'cause that's crazy. And your parents. But all love to your parents though for making you. Alright. So for one, how can you drive and be mindful? Because we don't really meditate, but meditation is just literally being mindful. So that's just like a different form or a different title that people want to, I say, equate something into being, just to make it seem as if it's more connected with the spiritual terminology. But meditation is still demonic. So it's like, if you want to go outside of that and be open-minded, just say being mindful. So it's like, for example, people who don't really get meditation, they'll be like, oh, meditation, that's demonic. You shouldn't do that because you're inviting spirits into your portal, your temple, and all you're doing is just accepting and submitting to energies that don't need to be. What the fuck are you talking about? It's like, stop that bullshit lie. Because when you're being mindful and the thing is too, meditation is a state that you're basically vibrating in through stagnation of sitting with yourself, or you can stand up, you can lay down, you can drive. Meditation or being mindful is what you make it. So now when it comes to the driving and the mindful part, when you're going somewhere, take your time. So even with anything in life, you have to always move at a certain pace. Even as I talk, I had to make sure that my excitement is at a certain pace for me not to stumble over my words, because my tongue will move faster than how my mind is perceiving itself to be. The thoughts that I'm thinking of that I want to get out, they're already out there. And my tongue will try to catch up. But it's like, no, slow down, because the thought is there, it's flowing, but it's like you're rushing the tide that's hitting the shoreline. It's like, no, because then you'll start flooding the beaches, the buildings that are next to the beach. It's like you're just flooding the whole real estate establishment or the environment or the vacuum or the vicinity that you are experiencing through your own mindset. Because you have to be able to house your mindset, because your mind is the house that you are experiencing. So you don't have a house that you're actually living in, but the house that you are living in physically is just basically your mindset and how you're taking care of it. So when you walk into your house or into your room, you are walking into a doorway of your mind. When you walk into your bathroom in your house, walking into a doorway, your kitchen, you're walking into your mind. Every single day as you are walking physically, you are still walking into different dimensions. So even it's like, for example, you go into Walmart or Publix, a Kroger, your school, your job, your car, the bus, a bike. That is basically you. You are transcending, and not only that, but you are moving in a dimensional technique that requires you to stay mindful. When you're staying mindful, that is because you are now able to understand where your mind is going. When you're driving, where is your mind going? Where's your mind taking you? Because if your mind's not taking you to a final destination, then that means that you are just beginning to travel into what that destination has never became till you drove to it. Now, when you drive to it, what were you being mindful of? Meaning, like, for example, I love driving and making videos because, for one, it helps me stay honest with my work ethic. Not only just that, though, when I want to give, I'll say lessons, not just lessons, whenever I'm giving back to the universe and giving myself a lesson as well, I'm basically teaching myself just more ways of being enlightened in enlightenment. Not only just that, though, because I don't want the enlightenment, it'll keep me foolish, but that's the foolishness of my enlightenment. My enlightenment is so foolish that when I'm driving, I am being mindful of my contradiction that people get offended by. And I'm not saying any of you, because my supporters, y'all don't get offended because we're on the same wavelength. It's like, I can't offend you because you and I don't have any discourse or any disagreements that we disagree upon, because you and I don't give a fuck about this realm per se. All we are doing is just understanding our own teachings, and then we're just being infatuated by them, and we're just being open-minded to helping us ascend our ego every single day, because all that matters is your ego. The mind has to be able to figure out where you're driving it to. Even with a woman, for example, and I had to bring up women as well, because the woman's light that she bears, that can determine actually where you are going in life and what you're going to be doing with that destination that you are guided by in life as well. Because she is giving you the bearing of your light, how will you alchemize that? How will you mold the light that she gave to you that you're seeking? As you are the seeker of light, you are also the bearer of light as well. But you also came from a bearer of light as well that was also still is seeking enlightenment right now for today. Because of that, how will you be mindful for today, even as you are driving? Because when I'm driving, I'm not really in the car just thinking about where I'm really going. Like, I know where I'm going, but I realize that where I'm going is where I already am right now. So as I'm driving, the destination has to be reached within my acceptance for what I'm actually experiencing myself to be in, which is exactly why being meditative or mindful is a craft or a practice that you have to want to get to know. And that literally means, so for example, we don't have the radio playing, we don't got anybody in the car to distract us or say anything to us, because we're experiencing how we want to live our mindful state of being, because that's all we're doing. We're just being ourselves. So when you're being yourself, how are you being as the being itself? When you're being yourself, how are you being as the being itself every single day? Because you can understand as well that the mind also has to be mindful of its higher self, and that mindset for that higher self, because you also do have more levels of consciousness that you have to actually reach before you leave this dimension. So when I say this dimension, excuse me, because that's the thing though. So one of the key, actually, the thing is, I'm gonna freestyle the key points today. I didn't have any in my iPad. The one thing I want to tell you is, no, it's a couple things I want to tell you. One of them, already set pace, mindful, which is still basically meditative. The other thing is to be authentic with the thoughts that you are letting out and the lies that you are responding with. No. As you're responding with that response that you're thinking of, make sure that the honesty that you're bringing in with those thoughts, you're being aware of that contradiction for your honesty. When you move in honesty, your response will always be a mental acceptance for the honesty that you are bringing in for being mindful. When you're being mindful, imagine it's like you wake up every day and just lie for no reason. Now, of course, we all are actual liars, but we practice telling the truth, and we practice lying because we're not actually liars or truth tellers. But because we are aware of the truth and the lie that we instinctually know is right and wrong, we choose to be right or wrong, but we can't be either or because they aren't actual real concepts. That's exactly why with the honest aspect, if you're not being honest, those lies will make sure that the vibration that you want to be on, it won't be there for you, because you're not honest with yourself. That's how this dimension will be able to guide you into where you're driving into. Because not only are you just being mindful, but that honesty will literally open up more opportunities for your mindset to say, hey, so I've seen this before, you've seen it. Now I gave you the little breadcrumbs for you to see through envisioning, but you had so many things going on. Now this is the ego talking to you. If you have an internal dialogue or inner dialogue, but the ego will tell you, hey, I gave you these little breadcrumbs to help you understand, what you can see and how you're seeing it, but you weren't envisioning it at the moment because you were too distracted by the worldly pleasures or just doing whatever you had to do unconsciously. But now that you are here with me, I want to be guided by you. But the ego won't be saying that to you when you're not actually awakened at first. When you're awakened or you have an awakening, your awakening will teach you to always be submissive to yourself. When you're submissive to yourself, you'll be able to dominate your unconscious ways that cannot really guide you into a better way of being. So to be a better way of being every single day, if you're not driving as well, because the thing is too, you're always driving, even if you don't have a car or a bike or a scooter or a rollerblade, skateboard, you don't take the bus or the train, a plane, doesn't matter. There is always a mirage that's still doing the same things that you aren't doing. You're always driving your thoughts, but how fast are they going? What's your speed limit? Because if you do go above that speed limit, you may crash into a quantum overlapping of somebody else's thoughts that you may not be able to keep up with. The only way to avoid that is by doing, once again, I'm gonna keep mentioning it too, mindfulness. Because meditation will teach you how to find that source, that spark as you're sitting with your thoughts. Okay, but then even with meditation though, that I would say that it's like a radio station or that channel on the TV with no television, by the way. But that station right there is designed to keep us understanding, like, you know what? In meditation, I am going to be in a meditative state of mind to where I'm wanting to find something. It's like, that's the problem though. Why are we looking for things in a meditative state of mind when we're always meditating right now by being mindful of our mind? That's why mindfulness will help you be optimistic for open-minded perspectives. Once you understand that, there is no right or wrong perspective because you understand both sides of the coins or the spectrum. That's exactly why it's not visible. So in order to see that vision that's not visible, what are you being mindful of every single day when it comes down to you? Because all that matters is basically you. Yes, it is selfish. Yes, it is narcissistic. We understand that. But at the end of the day, if nobody can sit there, if nobody ever told you your accomplishments, your failures, your mistakes, your acceptance, your tolerance, if nobody ever told you things about you that they are examining, how would you really know what you're doing through the meditative state of mind that you are seeing through your perception? When you're driving, you're not really actually driving, but it's the thing, for one, what are you driving your energy into? That's a driving force right there, because as I'm in a car right now, I'm not actually in the car right now. I'm a being observing myself in the car right now. But where am I going? Driving my thoughts right back to my household that will enclose my subconscious thoughts that will get the videos out to you from a perception that I'm already in. So basically, I'm already home right now, but you are observing me in the car right now. But technically speaking, I'm already in the crib in my room, video being edited, and it's posted right now. You're like, oh shit, Devon posted today. Whole entire time, and this video's been out already. We on to the next one, because you have to keep on moving forward. So now, on top of that, safety precautions as well. You have to always maintain your safety. When I mean maintain, oh no, I need to go back to your question because I'm trying to go in depth with your question. When you maintain your safety, you have to be able to now guard your thoughts, because your thoughts are liable to attack you and cause you to want to kill yourself, depending on how that only happens depending on how weak mentally you are. But now, nobody's mentally weak, but we choose to be. And the thing is too, people choose to be because it feels good. It feels good to be mentally weak because you're playing the victim role. And when you're playing the victim role, you feel like you deserve to get spoiled, or just certain things you would accept because it's just like, well, I've been doing it for so long, it's been accepted, nobody's saying anything about it, so I'm gonna keep on doing it. That's not being mindful. All you're doing is trying to get things, or you're just trying to get situations out of people that don't really see the scheme that you're plotting through your masquerade of playing the victim card. The whole entire time, the cards that you've been dealing have already been shown by yourself. You already showed your hand and what you're playing, what you're putting down. So now it's like you already lost the gambling process already. You're sitting here gambling with your life through your emotions and not knowing that all you're doing is just driving them out the window. So you're basically crashing into a different car through quantum overlapping because you're not guarding your thoughts. Your thoughts are basically overrunning your programming. So the thing is too, you can't be programmed by your thoughts. That's the whole entire point of a simulation. Like the world that we're living in right now, you are literally programmed by being in your thoughts as a being in your thoughts. And as a being in your thoughts, what are you being in your thoughts? When you're thinking out loud. And out loud is actually not you thinking out loud, but internally is how you are feeling within. So when you are going within as you're driving, what are you doing for yourself? Just for the day, before you even get into the car, what will you bring? How much radiation will you bring to magnetize for you to accept and digest? When I'm saying digest, what do you have right next to you? Do you have juice, candy? Do you have poisons or No. Do you have, what's the word I'm looking for? What word do we want to use today? I want to go in the dictionary. I want to grab a word because it's for the parasites. It's for the parasitic forces. What vice are you allowing the parasites in your system to feed on? If all you have is your thoughts and your thoughts are weakened by your way of thinking, why are you thinking for parasites that are gnawing and clawing and then digesting the being that you're supposed to be living in? Because understand too, the being that you're living in is not the avatar. The avatar is literally just a mediator for what you're observing yourself internally being in through an outward perception. Have you ever seen yourself outside of the mirror? Or do somebody else's perspective? Or do Instagram and social media? No. You actually never seen yourself before. So because you never seen yourself before, that means that you are never driving your thoughts while being mindful. So the thing is, when you're being mindful in the car, you have to be able to, for one, because you're not, so when you lose your thoughts as you're driving, that's because now you are basically the observer, observing your thoughts going into a higher way of being in a higher realm. Come on, man, hurry the hell up, dog. You're observing your thoughts being a better way in a higher realm that you are able to now drive yourself into being subconsciously. Because subconsciously, you have now been able to guard your thoughts, because understand as well, when you are being mindful at first, it's a practice, because you're not going to just immediately go into the spiritual realm or a thorough celestial quantum absolute domain 0-point unity. You won't be going into these ascended realms of ascension if you're not practicing being mindful of your meditative state of mind, because you got too many tabs open in your mind for your programming. And it's like, if you're not hitting X on the things that you're saving, it's like all you're doing is just saving yourself to suffer some more. All you're basically doing is saving yourself to be stressed out. You're saving stress and you're holding on to it because it holds some type of memory that you're attached to. Let go and detach from those memories that don't belong to you. They don't belong to you, so why are you holding on to them in your mind? That's literally blocking you from actually reaching ascension. So now when you let go and detach, another key point, actually there's no order, I'm just going to give you this free game. Detach from those states of being mindful that the thoughts are running away from when it comes to you catching them. But that's the thing though, why are we running away from our thoughts when we should just be facing them face on? So you should be, let's say you're in a circle, your thoughts just get out the cage, they're running wild. You don't have a leash to put your thoughts on, but that's the thing though. Why do you want to have your thoughts in chains? Have you not learned from slavery? Have you not learned from these movies that they keep on portraying our people to be enslaved in? Why is it always that they make slave movies with just carbonated deities? Was nobody else enslaved? I'm so confused. That's the thing though. Never put your thoughts on chains. They have to run wild. They have to run free. So when you're driving, you're letting your mind run free. Do so. That's an outlet. So another key point, have an outlet that you can go to at any given time. So for example, some of y'all may think masturbation is an outlet. I'm only saying that because there's somebody watching me who still masturbates. Now of course, they'll be like, no, I don't masturbate. You're telling on yourself, because if you didn't masturbate, you wouldn't tell me that. There is somebody out there who's still doing it. That's their outlet to free their thoughts and drive their mind into a pixelated prison or a digital prison. Being on the phone all night, caked up. Not saying it's a bad thing, but you tell yourself every single day, some days, if you have a purpose, I had things to do and things to accomplish, but I'm not accomplishing them. What should I do? How should I do it? How should I go about doing my purpose? I don't know where to start. Why not just start right now? You can't start your purpose because you're on the phone talking to somebody that you don't see a future with. And then when they start talking to you after 5 or 6 or 7 months, your whole world is shattered. So not only were you dependent on somebody else's time and attention, when those two things were taken from you, your whole world is gone now? Why did you put all your eggs in one basket and then you're surprised that all the eggs cracked? Why? No, when you allow that to happen and then you're being emotional about it, you're not being emotionally intelligent. You have to be optimistic and literally understand, for one, never give anybody the benefit of the doubt. They will always let you down. Human beings are the biggest letdowns of all time. Somebody will tell you something one day, then tomorrow they will forget what they told you yesterday. Because why? Those thoughts don't matter. Somebody can buy a car today, 5 cars today. Tomorrow, they hold no value. They don't mean anything anymore because you paid for them, you drove them, they got miles, it has mileage on it. The gas has been wasted already. Niggas don't want that shit no more. That's exactly why when you are accepted or accepting programs that the mind wants to actually feel itself being in, you are playing in delusion. Do not let delusion play with your thoughts. When the realm of delusion, because the thing is too, delusion is its own entity or its own species. I say that because, for one, we are all under the mind control of delusion. Delusion meaning that, for one, whenever we're talking, we're thinking, we're speaking, doing hand motions, reading, we're communicating, we're laughing, we're walking, all these different things that we do on a basic aspect every single day. These things right here are what we call, well, I would call delusion. Because why? You were never doing them to begin with. The only difference is your mind is literally that powerful to where it's emitting a projection that comes from a higher way of thinking. When you're thinking, you're not actually thinking unconsciously. So now when you mention your mind is somewhere else thinking about other things while you are where it's driving, but it won't feel like you're driving. Yeah, that's the point. Because your mind was never there to begin with, because you're the being. So it's like when you're driving, you have the ego that's in the physical, it's dumbing itself down to accept the, crowd they're driving. But consciously, outside of your body, when you have an OBE and you're doing it in third person or you're narrating your life, now it's like you're going outside of the perception of your perfected craft that cannot be perfected physically, only mentally and spiritually. My phone getting hot too. Sorry. But that's exactly why too, because your mind is not actually there. You want to have your mind be there with you because that's your safety net. Without your mind, what do you have? Nothing. Your mind creates that something for that nothing, because without your mind, nothing would really matter. Now, of course, you have your mind, and guess what? Nothing does matter. But see, that's exactly why that's something that does not matter. You have to make it matter as you're mattering in the matter of existence, as you're creating a dilemma for you to follow for your own agenda by getting up every single day and telling yourself, my thoughts will be like this today. I'm going to be mindful of this. I'm going to be intelligent on that. I'm going to help out with this, that, and do. You're basically helping yourself achieve things that haven't been achieved before by you. But that's the thing though. You woke up, you were more authentic with yourself, you were honest with yourself. Not only just that, you gave grace. You said thank you to the Almighty Being. Not only just that, gratitude. Be grateful that you can actually think when you're driving. You're multitasking. Some people cannot think. So think about it. There's some people in this world who can't drive without having the music on, without having something playing on their radio. That's them. But with you, you don't have to have all those extra noises, the background noises playing to distract you from yourself. No, that's how powerful your mind is. Not only just that, your discipline, because your mind can't govern you anymore. It can't. That's exactly why, as you are going about life, driving yourself and your energy around, see, here go this dumbass nigga, dog. Like, people are so fucking stupid. Someone almost got fucking T-boned. Tell me why, as I'm driving, being mindful, right? Man, the universe is so funny, so funny. It happened literally right just 5 seconds ago. Okay, let's just calm down and breathe. Okay, so as I was driving by a neighborhood, a car sees that I'm driving. Now, mind you, the neighborhood, like literally right here. I'm driving. They say, oh, they're driving. Let me just go ahead and cut right in front. What are you doing? What are you doing? But see, this video, how can you be mindful and drive your thoughts? By being in a meditative state of being. Always be present. Acknowledge your thoughts. Don't let them weigh you down. Don't let them govern you. Also, appreciate them and detach from them. You see how fast that was? It happened. Okay. Are we good? We safe? Our heart's still beating? We're not bleeding, right? We still can talk. We still can think, right? Let's get back on board. That things happen just like that. You can't make this stuff up. So when I tell things in real time, that's literally me showing you how genuine it is to be honest with beings who are watching you and supporting you. That's all it means. Be supportive of your mindset, because without your mind, you wouldn't even be a thought here in a realm that actually has thoughts that think they're here. But how can a thought think it's here when thoughts are transparent? Have you seen your thoughts? You could say yes, but if you're answering me, you are now lying to me. How so, divine? That makes no sense. That's the whole point. You can't make sense out of nonsense. That's exactly why when you have your senses intact, you will realize that, for one, nothing will ever make sense to you in a world that lacks common sense. It's just that simple. Every day you're driving, you make sure that, I have so many key points. I just really hope that you were, I don't just hope, I really understand that you were taking notes. You should have been. But alchemize this teaching and then do it for yourself as well. Like, what did you learn? What did you realize? Because the thing is, too, when I'm teaching myself, I want you to realize your own realization of what you're actually driving yourself to be in right now. Because this teaching is very complicated even for me, because it's like, when you ask this question, I had to go back and be aware of it, because I do it a lot too, but I never really sat there and just questioned why I do it as well. But I understand that from my experience, when I'm driving and meditating in my mind or being mindful, all I'm doing is just, when I drive, my intention is basically to find more video ideas. So I do a lot of things to get video ideas as well. But even times when I'm not making a video in the car, I'm still thinking of a video for you all. And I think it's not that hard, but it's just the fact of, I need things to be structured. It has to be organized. I don't want to just give you a video that isn't prepared. Like, that to me, it just feels rushed. If I had to rush my thoughts for a teaching, I don't want to make a video. Does that make sense? So therefore, being mindful. That's how you're able to keep your emotions intact as well. So with that situation just happened, I'm talking way too fast. What if that situation that had just happened, I could have sat there and somebody did again, bro? You hear that? You hear that Hellcat? Or that, like, bro, people be in a rush to go somewhere. It's just like, dog, if you are not paying attention, you can literally get hit into a whole different dimension. Why do people? And it's okay to observe that emotion that keeps your energy in motion, literally. Now, the thing is, though, those things come from the implementation that you were programmed to thinking of feeling or feeling in. Now, of course, you actually can't feel an emotion because the emotions are feeling how you're feeling. But how are you feeling as a spiritual being transparent? You have no feelings. You create them because, of course, you care for your life and their life as well. Now, they don't care. That's on them. But now the thing is, though, if you cause yourself to get hurt or somebody else, you got to pay for that. So that frustration does make sense, because it's like, my nigga, your lack of driving skills can kill me. So it's okay to observe those thoughts or emotions and then resonate with them. Somebody got into a car crash. I can't make it up either. I'm gonna show y'all real quick. So this car right here, that car right there, got into a car crash. You see what I mean? Like, the universe just delivers on demand. It's just showing me the examples of what other beings are being in right now. How much time do I have for this Bible study? 6:47, I got some time. But yeah, most importantly though, in conclusion, I just wanted to make sure that no matter what y'all do, make sure you sweat today as well. But make sure you're always minding your thoughts. Even if you're not driving, by the way, you can still mindfully drive your thoughts, because understand too, your mind is driving the thoughts that you are thinking of every single day. Because think about it, where are your thoughts actually going when you're done talking about them? Where are your thoughts going when you're done thinking about what you have thought about already? So your thoughts 5 years ago, do you remember them? You can't tell me yes. So from January to December, you remember all your thoughts 5 years ago. So if it's not documented, how will you know your thoughts? See? So niggas is basically just thinking for free and not even actually documenting their thoughts out loud. You can't be a free thinker then. A free thinker and an overthinker, one who's open-minded, they have the ability to freely think on perceptions that they cannot keep up with. Because why? That's how wise they know they aren't. They know they're wise, they act as if they aren't that wise. Because why? They're doing it for a safety precaution. And not only just that, it helps people understand that, for one, people cannot fathom the depths that existence or consciousness will bring itself into being. So when you go into a deeper way of being with the mentality for, I would say, the realm of observations, we have to observe the teachings that we want to be taught through. When you're being taught through a teaching, how are you learning from your own teachings? If you can't learn from your own teachings, then how are you teaching yourself to even learn? If you can't learn from yourself, then how can you learn from anybody else? If you can't learn from yourself, then how can you learn from anybody else if you don't know what you're talking about? So when you're driving your mind every single day, know what you're saying. Know what you're doing before you say that doing. Know what you're doing before you commit the act of what you think you want to do. Think about how you feel every day. What you put into your body matters, because your thoughts literally align with the frequency that you're putting into your matter. So that matter has its own resonance that you have to resonate with. And if you can't align with that radiance, then you can't radiate on a higher vibration, because you don't even take care of your mind as being mindful of you. Your mind is so mindful of you, it keeps you alive, and yet you don't nurture it. I'm in a gym right now with no weights involved. So how am I sweating? What is being hot when it's cold outside? That's being mindful. Because what is being mindful? When you don't have a mind to begin with. Devon, what are you talking about? Exactly. That's exactly why a wise man and woman knows that they know nothing. And even though we know nothing, we're lying about something. So what's our truth? Do we talk about it? No. That's a great answer. Because why would you talk about the truth? It can't be articulated. So why are we doing it every single day? And we can't comprehend that truth. Be mindful. Be aware of your thoughts. Love your thoughts. Appreciate them. Detach from them. Find new ones. Build those thoughts up. No reference to masonry. But build your thoughts up from the ground up with compassion, with honesty, authenticity. Seek the own bearing of your light and do not get attached to it. Niggas don't understand that enlightenment though. Seek the bearing of your own light, but never get attached to that enlightenment. I'm gonna say it again. If you made it this far, Comment down below so I know that you're a real supporter for real. And thank you also, Rain Cordial, for ordering a shirt that don't get involved with the sex trafficking shirt. I appreciate you. But if you made this far, comment down below. I am thankful to detach from the bearing of my enlightenment that I am observing daily. I am thankful to be detached from the enlightenment that I am. Did I mess that? I said so many. See, it's like my sayings, I like probably fucking them up because it's like I say a saying and then I add on to that saying. Okay, I had to make sure that it sticks for y'all so I know. But I'm pretty sure you watching, like, you know, my bad. My mind is just so complex. Okay, all right. Remember this saying for them so I know they made it this far. I am thankful to detach from the bearing of my enlightenment that never belonged to me. Okay, if you made it this far, I am thankful to detach from the bearing of my enlightenment that never belonged to me. I am thankful to bear the enlightenment and detach. See, I messed it up again. Hey, look, if you made it this far, just comment, like, you know what I already said. Just comment that down below and you already understand, bro. My bad, y'all. Like, I am just so deep in a rabbit hole, I cannot climb out right now. So I'm gonna end it right there. But I appreciate y'all. Love y'all so much. This nigga is riding, or it's a woman, she's riding my ass. Pause. I'm not driving faster, but I appreciate y'all. Love y'all so much. Always be authentic. And always remember as well, drop your nuts on any closed-minded perspective. These people cannot fuck with you. Anybody in this realm who is talking down on your perspective, shit on their ego. Why is that? Because then they will humble themselves to realize that, oh, wait a minute, I was trying to shit on their way of being and I can't even think of their way of being. So why am I being like them and I can't even be like them? Oh, because you're being mindful of how you feel. They want to know how you feel so bad. They want to be like you. But you being like you, and they want to know how you being like you. Whole entire time, you just doing you. Have a great and divine day, Divine Reflection. Get off my ass, bitch.